Now welcome inside Spanish Fork for Timpanogos Timberwolves football on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. Tonight, the Timberwolves take on the Spanish Fork Dons in the season finale. Playoffs start next week. Dusty Lister and Eric Lister with you. Eric, you got to see Timpanogos last week. This team's got a high-flying offense. They're going to get the ball first.
Absolutely, and I just have to say real quick, it is Friday the 13th, so anything can happen. I haven't seen anybody running around.
Well, I almost had a heart attack, so stinking cannon.
I haven't seen any hockey masks out here, but absolutely. The Timberwolves are amazing, led by Chase Riggs, their quarterback. He was dimes last week.
Yeah.
He was absolutely dimes. He has a 107.4 quarterback rating. He's absolutely amazing. He has Luke Livingston as his top wide receiver and do-it-all player here.
Vargas set to kick it off, and we are underway. The last game of the regular season can be taken at the 2-yard line. And I believe this is Luke Livingston, getting to the edge is Matthew Hall. Hall across the 40, across the 45, and bumped out of bounds around midfield. We do have a third member of our broadcast crew. Let's send it down to Kenzie Valentine.
I had a chance to talk to both coaches before kickoff. Coach Smith said it's been an interesting season so far, and they're focused on ending on a good note. Speaking of a good note, tonight is senior night here at Spanish Fork, so hopefully they're all fired up. Coach Heath said he told his players not to focus on playoffs next week, but to focus on the game tonight. Overall, both these teams are just trying to focus on a good outcome for tonight.
Thanks, Kenzie. We'll try to get the audio part of that figured out, but I'm excited for Kenzie. Debut tonight for Kenzie on the sidelines. She's gone from intern Kenzie to Red Zone scoreboard update girl Kenzie, and now sideline reporter girl Kenzie. Yeah, so proud of her.
So proud of her. And first and 15 here.
First and 15, they're going to go to Bretzing, and Bretzing picks up the penalty yardage, and it'll be second down and 10.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they run tempo like they did last week. It looks like they definitely are here.
3-by-1. Livingston's the outside receiver near side. Riggs. Oh, hit his receiver right between the numbers, and Dash McCann couldn't pull it in. It'll now be third down and 10 for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, beautiful pass there. Last week they had a lot of these third and longs, but were able to convert. So this isn't rare territory for them.
I expect Livingston to run a post here. He's run something into the eyesight of Chase Riggs. Make it an easy read for Riggs. So 2-by-2 formation. Bretzing in the backfield with Chase Riggs. Riggs looks, fires for Graff, and broken up. Thought he had him for a moment. Nice job of breaking on the ball and breaking up that pass. I believe is number 8 for Spanish Fork. That'd be Bronson Kalili.
Yeah, this is exactly what Coach Smith wanted with respect to the Dons. Keeping those third and longs, and let's see if we can stop them from converting here.
Well, they're going to go for it on fourth and 10. And they're going to throw it. Riggs again over the middle to Graff and couldn't find him. So turnover on downs at midfield. I'm not going to lie, I feel bad I didn't set up the broadcast thinking, hey, they're definitely going to punt from midfield. Definitely not.
Definitely not.
So good start for Coach Dustin Smith and the Spanish Fork Dons. Dustin Smith, of course, known very well for the especially for athletes. Eyes up, do the work. One of the most positive people you're ever going to meet. I believe it's his 4th season here at Spanish Fork, and each year they've gotten better. Back-to-back 7-2 seasons, lost in the second round of the playoffs. He's looking for something tonight, and hopefully they're able to continue to move things forward for the Spanish Fork.
Yeah, he's done a tremendous job. Don't let their record fool you at 3-5. 3 of those losses came by less than 1 score with 3 minutes left on the clock. They were ahead in all of those.
Going to start on the ground, and I believe that was Olsen on the carry. Man, you think the red on gray is easy to read. It is not.
You know, the great thing about Spanish Fork is they are one of the top rushing offenses in 4A. 1,500 yards rushing. Great attack there, and fantastic offensive line.
You're thinking number 79, Aaron Dunn.
Oh,
Future, I mean, this kid's a big boy.
6'8", 285, top 25 lineman in the country.
Yeah. So new back was Trevin Davies on the carry on first down. Second down and 5, going to bounce off the outside. Nice job. Getting back and making the stop was Timpanogos' number 23, and that'd be Brighton Tate. Young man, that's his 21st TFL on the season.
Yeah, fantastic. Getting in the backfield, just flying through the gap there. And they've done a fantastic job. 75 TFLs so far this season for Timpanogos.
So it's going to set up a third down and long for Coach Smith and the Dons. Ten seconds on the play clock. The two receivers near side, two to the top of the screen for McKay Smith. Olsen's been the number one guy. Smith looks near side, has his man out of his hands. Incomplete. It'll be 4th down and 7. That pass intended for Ethan Beckstead. They couldn't connect, and the punting unit will come on for Coach Smith.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going to play the field position game, punt this, try to pin him down deep, and force Timpanogos to drive the length of the field.
Back deep for Timpanogos is Tyler Hunter. And he'll be waiting inside the 10-yard line. Good snap. He got into this one. This ball didn't check up. Thought it might just for a second. Bring it out.
Just gets into the end zone there. You know, they had what they wanted. You know, first down and 10. They pick up, 4 or 5 yards.
Yeah.
Put themselves in a really good position on second down. And that Timpanogos defense gets that tackle for loss. Can't say enough about that defense and what a great job they're doing and the pressure they're putting on these opposing offenses.
It's the other team at SoFi where their coach says, I trust our defense. I'll go for it wherever. You know, if you don't throw the ball on the goal line, you actually beat teams that do that. But the Raiders didn't do that. So back comes Timpanogos. 1st and 10 from the 20. Chase Riggs fire up the sideline, got his man. Catch made at the 40. Slips a tackle across midfield. Inside the 40. He's going to take it all the way to the house. Gabe Graff, touchdown, Timpanogos.
Fantastic play call there. They did a lot of that last week, spreading the ball out, hitting the quick passes on the perimeter and letting their talent do the rest.
An 80-yard touchdown to Gabe Graff with 9:30 left in the first quarter. Timpanogos on the board. And coming out for the point after is Parker Harvey.
Yeah, that's Gabe's 4th touchdown of the season. He can fly.
Yeah, he showed it. And that wasn't just your run-of-the-mill go route. He had to break some tackles. He had to break the same guy's tackle about 3 times to get into the end zone. 9:30 left in the first quarter. Timpanogos jumps on top, 7-0. You're watching Timpanogos Timberwolves football on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. And welcome back to beautiful Spanish Fork. Before the sun went down, it was picturesque. It was beautiful. Now the sun goes down. Of course, Timberwolves football brought to you by Brent Brown Toyota. I want to thank Brent Brown Toyota for their support of Timberwolves football on the Rewind Sports Network.
Yeah, you know, one thing that we talked about in past weeks is Timpanogos is leading Region 8 in scoring. 364 points so far this season. That's 39 points per game. They can put it on you.
Yeah.
And put it on you quick.
Well, the great thing was that Chase Riggs came back from the broken hand that he suffered in fall camp. And as soon as that happened, you put Livingston in his natural position. Chase comes in. He can start dotting people up. That ball goes into the end zone, and it opens up this offense. So a lot of those numbers put on after Chase comes back.
Yeah, and as great as Luke Livingston is, they've been spreading the ball around. 5 receivers with at least 20 catches. You don't see that in high school football. It's amazing. So you can't just sit on Luke Livingston and think, hey, we're gonna win this game. They have other weapons.
And they've had to develop him over time. Chase Riggs, a 2-year starter. I got a little bit of time as a sophomore. Of course, this senior group had a lot of kids that played a ton or started as sophomores, as they've been waiting for this year with this group. So out comes Spanish Fork for their second drive of the night. 2 receivers to each side for McKay Smith. That's Olsen in motion. Going to go on the ground and nothing doing. Nice job and getting back there and getting the stop. That was Caden Vest on the carry. It'll be second down, and we'll call it 10.5.
Yeah, Caden's had a great season, 5.9 yard average, well over 1,000 yards. He definitely is great north and south runner. The numbers just were against him on that play.
Yeah, the Iosefo brothers running the middle of the field. MJ and Marley Iosefo. And on second down and 10, Smith looking to the post. It's picked off. No, in and out of the hands. Double nines could not squeeze it. Liam Fuller, who took over that spot when Tage Litster tore his ACL, he had that ball about 3 times there.
Yeah, they've had 9 interceptions so far this season. 1 was returned for a touchdown. One of the things that Coach Smith said with respect to Spanish Fork is we can't turn the ball over, and we have to get turnovers. They have had 13 interceptions so far this season, or thrown 13. You want to be careful with those turnovers, that's for sure, especially deep in their own territory.
And on third down and 10, Smith fires. Oh, man, that was a 1990s hit. Here comes the flag. I mean, that was something. Tyson Miller, that would have been on old school Monday Night Countdown. You got jacked up, and now it's a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, that's definitely what they used to call a decleater.
Yeah.
Without question, where you could see the bottom of somebody's cleats. Unfortunately, these days, and definitely for the protection of the players,
right,
not allowed.
And defenseless receiver, and he actually blew him up there. So the referees are going to talk this over, and we're going to send down to Kinsey. She actually caught a note from Coach Smith. But let's just find out what the penalty is, and we'll send it down to Kinsey. So it is going to be that 15-yard penalty on Timpanogos. The yards gained on the penalty will give him a first down. All right, Kinsey, you had a chance to hear something from Coach Smith.
Yeah, Dusty, as the offense is trying to progress forward, after that incompletion, Coach Smith yelled at McKay Smith, telling him to slow the offense down so they can try to get more completions up the field.
Terrific. Thank you, Kinsey. That's a good note. She talked about Coach Smith saying, hey, you got to slow down. You want to be fast. You want to be quick. You don't need to be fast. As you're going to keep it on the ground as Vest gets 3 yards on first down. I think it's second down and 7.
Yeah, again, one of the strengths of this Spanish Fork offense is that offensive line. You know, it's made up of mostly underclassmen. They do have one senior. Most of them are juniors, sophomores, and they play both ways. So, I mean, they definitely are grinding every single solitary game. But forcing Timpanogos back on those runs, going north and south, is going to be important for them.
Well, certainly. 2-by-2 formation. Puts a man in motion. Smith going to fire to the screen. Vest with the catch. Vest across the 40. Dives toward the 42-yard line. He'll make it third down and about 3.
Yeah, great play call there with the screen pass. Getting a lot of pressure up front there. You've got Jesse King. You've got Brighton Tate, who has 20 TFLs so far this season. He's got 10 sacks, 10 sacks on the season. That's a lot of pressure, a lot of heat coming at you. You want to get the ball out quick. Third
down and 3 for the Dons. Oh man. It all depends. That's a defensive false start. One of my least favorite penalties in high school football. We saw on Wednesday night, the referees were very lenient with this. Because essentially what it is, once your body goes into the neutral zone at all, they're going to call it. So that's why I call it the defensive false start. On Wednesday night, they actually were really lenient to let the guys get back. Not there.
I think also there you may have had a Spanish Fork player jump and move, and so they're
those
kind of
linemen,
forced to call that.
Linemen do that, right?
Yeah, we do that.
Eric played offensive line at Weber State. Iosefo blitzes. Smith throws outside, catches made at midfield. We'll get him forward progression there. And on the reception for Spanish Fork is Nixon Warren.
Yeah, a really nice pass there by McKay Smith. And how many southpaws do you see these days?
Not many.
Not many.
Not many.
It's kind of a beautiful thing.
Well, think about this. For our terrific lineman, Aaron Dunn, who's going to project to be a left tackle at the next level. Well, he's going to be cross-trained at right tackle because he's protecting a left-handed quarterback in high school. 2nd down and 7. They go with that Dolphins motion. Oh, tipped up, nearly picked off. They say incomplete. Nice job once again. That was Tate getting his hands on that. Brighton Tate.
Yeah, Brighton Tate's been absolutely awesome. And, look, if you can't get to the quarterback, what do they teach you? Get your hands up. Get in the passing lane. Knock that down. Bring it up 3rd down.
We know how good a hands Brighton Tate has. That kid plays a terrific right field. You think about on this football team. Livingston's the center fielder. Brighton Tate is the right fielder. Chase Riggs plays on the infield, but he's also a terrific pitcher. All won state championship last year in baseball. Brighton Tate had a championship game for the ages in the outfield.
Tremendous talent.
3rd down and 7 for the Dons. Going to throw. And again, they went with that dolphin motion. If you know what I'm talking about, it is that short motion to the field side. So receiver on that field side, motioning to the field side. That's something that they're doing. One of the many motions that the Dolphins run.
Oftentimes what you see with that dolphin motion is the wide receiver will actually start going towards the
line
of scrimmage.
Hey, Puka got away with that last week.
He did.
Puka ran out of CFL motion last week.
I definitely believe that's where they got that from.
Puka ran, I think they probably called it arrow motion. He ran like a bow and arrow. I mean, it was a total, that was crazy.
Like a horseshoe motion.
It did. So, back him up on the false start. 3rd down and 12. Quick throw, Smith outside. Catch made across carries across midfield. See, they mark him out. They're going to go to the 44-yard line. And on the catch and run for Spanish Fork was Will Dart.
That was a great play. You had 3 linemen, but then you had a blitzer coming, and McKay Smith was able to just get that out quickly to the perimeter, and once again allow his receiver to do some work there.
Fourth down and 1. They're going to go for it. Trips to the near side. They're showing a little power eye out of the backfield. Give it to the big fella. He has a first down to the 40-yard line. I didn't catch who it was in the backfield. It was number 44. Yeah, Coach told us he might do it. Easton Kojima for the first down.
That was absolutely beautiful. I love to see that.
Tom Rathman.
That was some Mike Allstott
yeah,
there,
was.
Right?
I'll get that. Kojima up the gut. But he told us that Kojima will probably play a little running back. He's going to block for us.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything about giving him the football. So Vest comes back on. And Smith hands it up the middle. Vest on the wedge block.
Yeah, they're doing really well on first down. Just again, north-south. One of the things that Coach Smith did talk about, and obviously Kenzie reiterated, is slow things down, get that running game going, maybe tire out that Timpanogos defense, especially that defensive line, running it straight up the gut.
So 2nd down. Going to throw a little bubble screen. Catch is made, slips a tackle inside the 35. Bounce out of bounds inside the 30. And he does have a first down on the catch and run once again. Ethan Beckstead. So many abnormal numbers on the field in these positions.
What a smart play. Get it out to the perimeter. Protect your quarterback.
Smith keep it on the ground with Vest. Found a seam and Vest 10-5. Spanish Fork touchdown.
Yeah, one thing I didn't call out there was they were running tempo. Keeping that defense on their heels. You okay, Dusty?
I got it that time. I didn't know they were going to do it every touchdown. Austin, did you keep that one level? Yeah? No, he didn't know. Austin looks like a mountain man, but he doesn't have the insides of a mountain man. So Caden Vest gets in the end zone for 6 with 5:19 left in the quarter. is coming on for the point after is Benji Vargas. Good operation as the point after is good. 5:19 left in the first, tied at 7. You're watching Timberwolves football on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. And welcome back into Spanish Fork High School. Dusty Litster, Eric Litster, and Kenzie Valentine down on the sidelines with you.
Hey, let's talk about a beautiful run by Peyton Best there. Right up the middle, kept his balance. That's his 11th rushing touchdown of the season again. Well over 1,100 yards, close to 1,200 yards so far this season. 5.9 yard average, man. Just give that guy the ball. Feed him.
Well, that's 2 carries for a first down.
That's right.
Well, it's crazy. Middle zone over and over that the Eagles did against the Vikings. So, again, it's going to be Hall on the return. He bobbled it and allows the kick team to get down there. And Hall going to be stopped at the 15-yard line, called the 16. So an 84-yard field ahead of Chase Riggs and the offense.
Yeah, Chase Riggs has been so on point this season. Let's look for some similar plays that they ran last week against Salem Hills. Spread out that defense and then attack him in the middle.
Yet the target, my man Luke Livingston thus far.
And don't forget about Easton Bretzing. Squats over 450 pounds. Guy is an absolute beast.
He's in the slot near side. Empty set, go out to Livingston. Luke with the catch, dives toward the 25-yard line.
Yeah, you called that one.
Got to get him involved somehow.
Luke with the touchdown last week.
This is a kid in Luke Livingston that led the state in touchdowns and receiving yards as a sophomore. Back shoulder, there he is, across the 35 to the 37-yard line, 1st and 10, Timberwolves.
Man, we talk about chemistry. That chemistry between Chase Riggs and Luke Livingston is something special.
You can see it. Punch to the top of the screen. They go Bretzing. Easton bounces it outside, gets a block from Livingston near the 45-yard line. They'll mark him out on the 45. So it'll be 2nd down and 1 on the carry from Bretzing.
Yeah, great experience there with Bretzing. Reading the blocks. Being patient as well. Not being so quick to the hole.
Riggs fires near side. It's caught by Graff, and Graff has the first down inside of Spanish Fork territory to the 45. Josh Graff with the catch.
Those quick passes, they drive defenses absolutely insane, especially when you're a defensive line that plays both ways. You're so tired all the time.
And they're still getting all lined up. It's Bretzing up the gut, and Bretzing dives toward the 40. Mark him at the 41, and it'll be 2nd down and 6.
Yeah, running tempo there, keeping the defense on their heels.
Chase hands off to Bretzing again, and Easton dives to the 36-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and a full yard.
Love the way he protects the ball and gets north and south. He squares his shoulders, brings up 3rd and short.
And again, Bretzing right up the middle, and Bretzing has a first down inside the 30, just bruising him up. They softened him up with a pass, and now you handed the big fella.
Don't you just want to make those noises? Boom, boom,
yes, you do. Gonna hand off. This is not Bretzing on the carry. Gets stopped for about a 2-yard gain, and on the run was number 38, Jaden Robinson, the 5'8 senior. Again, Livingston matched up at the bottom of the screen. Riggs looked left, stayed left, got his man, and the catch and going out of bounds is Cash McCann, and Cash is out of bounds at the 20-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and manageable here for the Timberwolves.
Man, that pass was on an absolute rope. Chase Riggs has definitely done work in the offseason. What an arm.
I would think you would be running a dive or running middle zone here with Bretzing, but without Bretzing on the field, see if they trust Robinson here. And they do, and it's Robinson picking up the first down. Hey, who cares when you got a guard center guard doing their job, taking care of the A-gap?
Yeah, Robinson, he had a great night last week as well against Salem Hills. filling in definitely towards the later part of the game.
There you go, Bretzing. Easton bounces off. Easton to the 5. Lowers his shoulder. Reaches for the goal line. And it's a touchdown for Timpanogos.
Easton Bretzing. Fantastic run there. Great offensive line play. Puts another 6 points on the board.
He was just seeking out defenders.
Nobody was stopping him. That guy was hungry.
Squats are terrible. That's why you do them.
That is
right
why
there.
you do 'em.
Everyone thinks it's upper body stuff.
Now, how many pounds did you say he gained this past offseason?
I think it was 25. Through soccer.
Yeah, he was
Coach was
spending
telling us.
at least one time a day in the gym, if not twice a day. He was doing 2 a days.
You see, he had a little bit of a cramp at the end of that run, too.
I do want to know what his parents were feeding them.
well, I asked Coach Chiefs before the game, so you're going to have Bretzing tell everybody what he did in the offseason to see who you can bulk up for next year? And the point after is good. 3:01 left in the quarter. We're not even out of the first. 14-7, Timpanogos leads Spanish Fork. You're watching Timpanogos football on the Rewind Sports Network. And welcome back to Spanish Fork High School. Dusty Litster, Eric Litster, Kenzie Valentine down the side. I'm sure Kenzie will have something for us here in a minute. Kenzie's going to stay away from that cannon. But I'll tell you right now, Kenzie, you can be, I don't know, I'm going to call us, 110 yards away from it? They still get you. Does anybody else think it's Christmas whenever this song starts? Do you think it's Mannheim Steamroller?
Little Metallica for Christmas.
Bretzing.
The Beast. They call him the Beast.
I would say he's the biggest kicker I've seen, but that's not true. Riker Matthews, the biggest high school kicker I have ever seen. He was the kicker at American Fork. Riker Matthews played at BYU. And then the biggest punter I've ever seen was Zane Taylor, who played in the NFL. He was the punter at San Juan High School when he was in high school.
Hey, kickers are people. They're people too.
That's argumentable. That's arguable. If you watched last night, that's all we tell Moose Bingham. Moose Bingham's our guy. He's a big punter, kicker. He trains
Alex
those
is
stuff.
a kicker as well.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, Kicker. All right, here we go. The Spanish Fork offense found their mojo last drive, Eric. They found their mojo. They ran it and threw it really, really well.
They just played their game.
Yeah.
They did exactly what Coach Smith said they were going to do. Ball control, run the ball, keep it close.
And they go motion in the backfield, and that's a TFL. Knifing back there, making the play is Nash Price.
Beautiful play there. Able to knife through.
Now, I can't
tackle.
I can't tell if he actually has a cast on his hand. If he does, man, he's my kind of guy. He looks like a 1980s, 70s, 80s Raider.
He's throwback.
Yeah.
He does.
There we go. 2nd down and 13. John Villapiano used to wear those. He said there's a guy on their staff that was really good at making casts. Gonna throw. Fire up the seam. Got his man. Nice catch. Back-shouldered throw. Making the play is Trevin Davies. And now a flag at the end of the play could be advancing the ball even more.
What a beautiful pass by McKay Smith there.
Gain of 17 on the play.
Tough catch. Talking about those casts, you have Deacon Jones with the head slap. Guys taping pennies to their fingers.
And so helmet-to-helmet contact. So that's really a 32-yard gain. Going to put the ball in midfield.
Yeah, and again, on 1st down, they had them for a tackle for loss, and then to give up that yardage on that next play. That Coach Heaps isn't pleased with that.
A little frustrated. That's 2 hitting penalties tonight on Timpanogos as they go vest, and he gets 5 yards on first down. Actually, call it 6. Second down and 4.
You could just set your watch by that. First down, they're going to run right up the middle.
5.9 yards a carry. Right on it.
Then you feed the guy.
Yeah. Well, this is what Spanish Fork has been the last 2 years. You had Buck and Tayson Reed, and it was, hey, eye it up and let's go. Pressure coming. Smith up the sideline, and it goes out of play. Intended for Ben Koski. It'll be third down and 4.
He's going to want that one back. He had him. Just a little bit out of reach there.
And I like that Timpanogos was going to try to heat up the pocket. Make Smith make a quick decision.
I mean, they've had 27.5 sacks so far this season. You know that they're going to bring it, and they've been able to bring it this season.
Third down and 4. That's Olsen. Going to motion near side. So Vest in the backfield, 1 second on the play clock, just got it off. Smith fires to the quick out, and that's Olsen on the reception. He has the first down.
That's a first down. And, you know, again, as I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, don't sleep on Spanish Fork. Look, they lost this Provo 29-22 in the waning moments of that game. And then last week losing to Payson 24-21. I mean, these games have been close.
And it's Vest on the carry. Vest breaks away. Vest into the end zone. Touchdown, Spanish Fork. We got a flag on the play. That's going to be coming back. We heard the double whistles. This is coming all the way back. Take the points off the board. Going to back them up. Somebody blocked a little too well.
Yeah, you know. We don't talk about that.
Hey, it's only holding if you get caught. You know,
never a hold. Come on.
I've watched Max Crosby absolutely get. I want to use the proper verbiage here on air.
Undressed?
Yes.
Let's use that.
Yeah, abused.
Abused. How about Aaron Donald? Triple team.
It's very true. Hey, Jason Kelsey wouldn't do that.
Oh, never.
You got to like this as a lineman. The most watched documentary in Amazon Prime history is the Kelsey documentary. Broke a record for an offensive lineman. One of your own.
You know why that is, though.
Now, that wasn't known then. All those numbers the last 3 weeks.
The direct
snap to Vest. And Vest again gets inside the 30, about the 26-yard line. If he is there, and he is, that is a first down.
What a great play call there. Little misdirection. You have everybody going in one direction. Vest takes it, direct snap.
That was on the playbook for the Houston Oilers on Tecmo Super Bowl to Lorenzo White. One of the best plays to run. Smith fires to Olsen. Oh, a little juke move, and Olsen dives inside the 25. And it'll be second down and long.
You know, what's interesting, they're kind of taking Timpanogos' playbook, and they're doing the exact same thing.
Very true.
Spreading it out, up the middle, quick passes, not letting Timpanogos, get that 28th sack of the season.
Smith, double pump, and has his man Olsen. A little sluggo right there. And that was Olsen inside the 10-yard line. First and goal, Dons.
Man, talk about quick hands. That ball was on his body so quickly. And again, we're running tempo here.
We're still in the first quarter. 35 seconds on a running clock. On the ground, Vest fierce inside the 5-yard line. It'll be second down and goal. See if they run another play. They don't have to. They can get one more in before the quarter ends.
Yeah, shoestring tackle on that one, or else he was dancing. He was going to be dancing.
He's trying to get in the painted area. 5 seconds on the game clock. Smith goes to Vest. He pulled it. And Smith walks in. The C parks. He walks across on dry ground. And it's 14-13.
Yeah, McKay Smith there. Pulls it.
Ready for that one.
Finds pay dirt.
He totally fooled me. I was like, hey, they got him right at the line of scrimmage, and McKay could just waltz in the end zone. Faked out our camera guy, too. He admitted it. I can put it out there. So Vargas will come on for the point after.
Man, I'll tell you, between the cannons and the lights going off and on, might have a stroke here.
I'll tell you, you're going to have a heart attack and then a seizure after with the lights as the kick is up. And it is good. At the end of the first quarter, we're tied up at 14. It's all offense, all gas, no breaks through one. You're watching Timpanogos football on the Rewind Sports Network, presented by Brent Brown Toyota. Spassville scored on the last play of the first quarter. McKay Smith getting in the end zone. Dusty Lister, Eric Lister, Kenzie Matthews.
Kick out the end zone there. These kickers these days, strong legs.
I remember when I first started covering high school football, the only kicker I knew that was kicking the ball out of the end zone was Riley Stevenson, and he was at Pineview High School. And now it's just a regular occurrence. If the kid can't kick it through the end zone, you're really shocked. So out comes Chase Riggs and the Timberwolf offense. Chase going to fire up the rail. Got Graffy able to double clutch and catch it at the 40-yard line. He had a touchdown earlier and now has that first down catch.
Beautiful catch there. Beautiful pass by Riggs. First down.
I've got a good one for Riggs on another big play. I'm going to feel real good about it. Trips to the top, doubles to the bottom. They go to Graff on the quick hitter. Graff gets his way across the 45-yard line. Nice block by Bretzi.
Yeah, I love the selflessness.
That's not a soccer player.
The selflessness on this team is amazing. They block for each other. Everyone's getting the ball.
And again, Graff, they're going to give him ground. They're going to take it. It's looking like TCU versus BYU in 09. They kept playing that 15-yard cushion on first down. We'll just take it with Jeremy Curley.
But trust me, they're setting it up. They're setting it up. Pretty soon we're going to see the stop and go here.
And they go out to Livingston. Luke gets outside, got a nice block, and Luke inside the 40-yard line. Actually mark him at the 40. And it was a nice job getting the block out there with Dash McCann.
Yeah, I love how they're spreading the ball out, keeping the defense on their heels, forcing the defense to run, and keeping the pressure off the quarterback.
The play clock gets to 25. That's a delay of game penalty right now. Go to Bretzing. He has a first down at Easton to the 37-yard line. I wasn't joking. All gas, no brakes in this one.
Oh, on both sides.
Oh, my heavens. On a beautiful evening in Spanish Fort. Riggs quickly out to Graff. Gabe has a gain of maybe one. Yeah, you say they're behind the chains.
That's definitely a win for the Spanish Fort defense there on first down.
And on 2nd and 10, Riggs going to fire up the rail, looking for Graff. Out of play. Incomplete. They'll be 3rd down and 10.
You know, even though that was incomplete, what a beautiful, beautiful pass by Riggs. He saw that. Spanish Forks brought the house. He had man-to-man coverage there. The safety had dropped down. Great time to call that play.
I love the Braveheart stuff on the video board here. Buddy Garrity was begging for that video board. 3rd down and 10. Looking for Gabe Graff, and Gabe couldn't make the catch. And now bring up 4th and 10. They already went for 4th and 10 at the 50-yard line. I fully expected for them to go for it here.
Yeah, so close there, right up the seam. They're not scared. It's Friday the 13th. They're not scared.
Yeah. As the kids would say, in fact, it came back to when I was nine. Ain't scared.
Ain't scared.
Ain't scared. 4th and 10. Yeah, that's right. That's 22 years old, kids. You didn't just come up with it. Even us in Carbon County knew about it. 4th and 10. McCann in motion. Riggs goes screen. They read it and they got it. No shot. In the words of Vince McMahon, no chance. And that will do it. Nice job of reading it and making the play. I believe it was number 22, Ethan Beckstead.
Yeah, he has been all over the field. Talk about a tremendous player. He has 35 tackles on the season, 11 tackles for loss, a couple of sacks as well. Add to his stats there.
This is where someone on a staff member on the sideline has got to be watching the Spanish Forks sideline. See, if they're doing this, they're not giving you the John Cena, you can't see me. They're saying, hey, screen. Yeah. It's screen. Read screen.
That's right.
Because they read that. There was no chance.
It was interesting. Faked the screen to the opposite side, came back to the near side. Well read.
Yeah. You can design it all you want if it's read. You know, their comprehension's pretty high. 1st and 10 for Spanish Fork. They're trying to switch sides of the seesaw as Vest inside the 30. Hogtied inside the 25 and down to the 21.
Wow, beautiful blocking up front, and Vest does the rest. Man, he's got some balance.
Like a prize steer at the Spanish Fork Rodeo. PRCA comes here for a reason.
Yeah. Steer wrestling.
1st and 10 at the 21. Why not? Go back to number 5. Slipping tackles down to the 11. I call it the 13.
You know, maybe speaking 12. Of rodeos, back in the day, remember when you were trying to catch the pig?
Yeah, absolutely.
What did they do to the pig? They greased it up, right?
Yeah, they greased it up.
Definitely
they greased it up.
But they greased it up.
Yeah. Kids,
that's exactly what this seems like. Somebody greased him up.
Can't stop him. You can't have a mutton roast if you don't bring him down. Inside for the 1st down to the 5. 1st and goal at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, and he's just not blocking. He gets another carry.
And we're using pink flags. A couple officials have yellow flags. Some have pink. I keep thinking it's a towel or something come off a player, but it is a flag. And this is going to come back. And in high school, you don't get away with anything anymore. They have your numbers, and we now report them.
Yeah, back in the day, it was just anonymous. It was just, holding on the offense.
Yeah. Remember, even college, it was hey, hold on.
Your number wasn't called.
Unless you played in the WAC in the mid-90s. So 2nd down and 11. Quarterback run down to the 15-yard line. In fact, that is the backup quarterback. That's Spencer Topu.
Yeah, really nice play call on that 2nd down after the penalty. Get some of that yardage back, bring up 3rd and manageable.
Spencer finished the Payson game. Again, quarterback power in the Taysom Hill package. Slips a tackle. Did he stay in bounds? He did not. Mark him him down at the 3-yard line. It will be 1st and goal for the Dons. Hey, when you spat your cleats pink, it's easy to see. We're going to feel that one again here in a minute. But 1st and goal at the 3.
1st and goal at the 3, and Spencer's had a great year so far. 3 rushing touchdowns. He throws the ball as well.
Well, the Jumbotron showed the replay. The camera guy, not his fault, didn't have a look at it on the sideline, so the fans can't even get that mad. Olsen in motion. Tupou cut down. Looking like Max Crosby on the edge there for Timpanogos with Tyler Hunter.
Yeah, this is where Timpanogos, you call it bowing up. You got to bow up here.
Eight minutes. About 30 seconds left in the half. The longest possession of the night. Most deliberate anyway. And Spanish Fork's going to take a timeout. So 8:25 left in the half. We'll be right back. You're watching Timpanogos football on the Rewind Sports Network, presented by Brent Brown Toyota. And welcome back. 8:25 left in the half. And it is Smith. No, Tupou staying in. And look who's in the backfield. Double fours. Easton Kojima. And it's Kojima. Man, Prada in the battering ram, and they just opened up that guard and tackle combination on the right side. Took care of business.
He did that on 4th down earlier in the game. And here, just give it to him.
I wonder how many charges they got in that cannon. I'm just waiting. They didn't fire it. I don't need to be surprised by it. I don't want to be surprised by it. The anticipation's killing me. So,
it is senior night here, but also what's interesting is look at all the student section.
Yeah.
An I-15 road crew. Everybody's in their fluorescent construction outfits.
Just south of here in Salem, they've had a lot of construction just past Pace and Salem area. Oh, glad they had a breed on it. I mean, you're roughing the kicker. Yes, we are. Nash Price tried to time that up. Hit the kicker. So I imagine Spanish is going to take it on the kick. It's interesting talking to Coach Smith about Spanish Fork and talk about, this is a baseball school, or has been. He goes, trying to turn it into a football school, and you see the support they're getting tonight. I mean, they're building something here within this community.
Yeah, they definitely are. And he's created something pretty amazing here. He talked about the underclassmen and how much they've bought into this program and what they're doing in the off season, and you see it. I mean, imagine most of this team, they're sophomores and juniors. What are they going to be next year?
Yeah. Well, you think about it, surrounding them is Maple Mountain, who's in 5A. Played a close game with them this year. You play Salem Hills and Payson just to the south of them. So they're kind of sandwiched in between there. And there's not a lot of building within older Spanish Fork. All the buildings out in Mapleton, Maple Mountain, Spanish Fork area.
Yeah.
But for Timpanogos, I mean, there's a lot of seniors on this team. I expect them to make a run in the 4A state tournament. Everyone's chasing Crimson Cliffs. It's who's going to come in to play Crimson Cliffs, and everyone's hoping to stay away from that side of the bracket. Because I don't know if you've seen that, Eric. Crimson Cliffs team is legitimately awesome.
They're dynamite.
I mean, they took Bingham down to the wire. They lost to Bingham 27-24. And they were up in that game.
Yeah.
And they go onside kick. And they have gotten it. The McAfee onside worked. Caught him. And, hey, I've always thought if you get that 15-yard penalty, might as well go onside. Now we got another late flag. But you saw that front line retreating, and it worked perfectly.
What a perfect time to call that play.
Yeah.
You get the penalty. The ball, of course, is moved up. Even if you don't get the onside kick, it's not like, you didn't
lose anything.
Losing the ball and you're getting it there on your own 40.
Think about it. It's a 15-yard difference. So if you got it, right now is showing their ball at the 33-yard line. It's a 13-yard difference, but again, a penalty on Timpanogos. Oh, no, it's on Spanish Fort. Mr. Official came over and explained to Coach Smith that the Spanish Fort player threw the ball in the air. He got the Jake Locker penalty. He spiked the ball in the air, and it was a 15-yard penalty.
That's a no-no. You just don't do that.
You don't do that. What happens is your point afters get blocked by Jan Jorgensen.
That's right.
My old quarterback.
Helper Utah.
Oh, my man. Now defensive analyst at BYU. So now an extra possession for Spanish Fort.
Yeah, I mean, let's see what Tim can do.
Officials forgot that his mic's up. You guys want to know what officials talk about? You just heard it a little bit if you're in the stadium. So I imagine, yeah, look, they're eyeing up. And it is Smith back under center. Vest deep in the eye. Go off the left side, and Vest has 3 yards on first down.
You know, they're really running multiple formations here. That was such an interesting formation there. You had literally 3 backs in the backfield, still able to move the ball.
You know, it was the old Redskin offense, I formation with the H-back.
Yeah.
I go right back to it. Who's the diesel? Well, the Vest looks like it. 2nd down and 7. Play action. Smith throws to the out, got his man inside the 35-yard line to the 33. That's Olsen on the reception. 1st and 10 Dons.
And that's what happens when you run the ball. Then you run that play fake. Sneaky play there by McKay Smith. Great play fake. Hides the ball. Comes out of the fake. Throws a bullet on the little out there for a first down.
So 1st and 10 at the 33. Back to the ground with Vest. And Vest is stopped for a short gain. Brighton Tate on the stop. They'll make it 2nd down and long.
Oh, and they're loving this. They're eating that clock. They're just grinding with those offensive linemen, tiring out that defense. I mean, that defense has been on the field a lot. And if any of those players are playing both ways, some guys are gassed.
They are gassed. No safety showing at the moment. Nobody in the middle of the field. Committing to the run. Again, play action for Smith. Throws to the drag. The catch is made. There is a flag that comes in at the end of the play. Could be defensive holding. But right now, it's Tyson Mansfield on the reception at the 20-yard line. Unless they're going to catch a little bit of a push off or a chicken wing on that route.
Might have been offensive there. But beautiful designed play. McKay Smith was probably clamoring, saying, "Hey, would you please let me roll out to the left? At least I'm throwing.
Come on, Dad. Come on, Dad. Like, help me out." Yeah, holding on Timpanogos. They're going to decline the penalty. It'll be a first down for Spanish Fork at the 20. And again, that's when you go cover 0, meaning there's nobody in the middle of the field. And if you get beat on that route, it is, hey, grab some hips, see if you can get away from it, or get away with it.
Again, on the ball. Tempo here.
Pitch out near side to Vest. Timpanogos read it and got to it.
Yeah, beautiful defensive play there. Getting upfield. Sealing off that edge. Great defensive play.
Set the edge, keep the edge. Tyson Miller with the tackle.
Spanish Fort huddling up here. Just letting that clock run.
Well, right now, the way they've been trading blows, And now that Spanish Fork gets the football. They can double dip here. So Timpanogos has got to come up with a stop. The Dons get the ball at the half. Vest in jet motion. Fake the sweep. Throw it near side on the screen. Slipping tackles inside the 15-yard line was number 18, or 28, pardon me, 28, Nixon Warren.
You know, that's just called window dressing. All that pre-snap movement, the fake to the opposite side, come back to the near side, run that wide receiver screen. You have a talented player just following his blocks. Nice job on second down.
All working on the eye discipline, right? So 4-by-1. They go quarterback draw with Tupou. Had to notice he snuck into the game. He goes inside the 10-yard line. It'll be first and goal for the Dons.
Yeah, you don't know what you're going to get when you get Tupou out there. Is he going to pass it? Is he going to run it? You got to be honest.
Yeah. And for Tupou, I mean, he gets to take some hill package.
Right.
And how about this huddle? They're huddling right on the ball. Dunn switches sides of the line. Now he's on the left side of the line. You can always tell where he is. All right, they're going to bounce this. Vest bounces. Vest inside the 5, touchdown. Hold on, we got a flag on the play.
It looked like they ran an unbalanced line there.
Did they have enough guys on the line of scrimmage? Are you thinking? There's the only post-snap penalty you're going to have in high school, besides holding, but the only post-snap penalty you have that's not dead ball is illegal formation.
Yeah. Well, it looks like it might be a hold there.
Oh, hold. There we go. You love willing little guys to block, but not when they're grabbing. But as I get your feet under you and get it.
Yeah, again, so much of blocking is in the feet. It isn't just how strong you are, but can you get in position in front of your man?
Feet and hands, right?
Feet and hands.
Gonna throw. Goes screen on first down. A bevy of blockers bounces it inside the 10. Cuts back inside the 5 and in the end zone. And another flag. Traven Davies with the touchdown, but that's going to go back again. This is and here's the other part that's for Timpanogos. Yeah, you're keeping him out of the end zone. This is bleeding down this clock. Yeah, you're not going to get the ball back.
That's right. Illegal man downfield. What we got here?
Yeah, if he catches it,
what you get on screen plays,
especially if your receiver drifts across the line of scrimmage.
Right.
Another hold. No, it's on a big man. So Tyler Brown, one of the Dancing Bears.
Yeah, getting handsy there.
He didn't learn that at Iowa. He didn't learn how to score points at Iowa in offense, but he learned how to block. And you learn how to play tight end somehow.
Hey, you win games 2-3.
I guess so. And I don't know how they put so many tight ends in the end zone or in the league that do something. It's amazing to me. It's like they finally feel free to play offense, and they're so excited.
Could you please throw me the ball?
I block good. Please throw. First down, they go to Vest. And a play without a penalty will come to an end at the 18-yard line.
Timpanogos has to feel good on that play. Just allowing just a few yards there.
Well, here's what you're looking now. The great thing for Timpanogos, second and goal from the 18.
That's right.
You're not defending anything else but the goal line, but you need to get him fourth and goal from the 12. It's kind of the goal at the moment.
Yeah, Spanish Fork, they've been 3 of 3 so far this year in field goals, but knowing Coach Smith, they're definitely going for it.
Remember, Vargas got blown up. Kenzie said that the sideline was mad about the roughing the kicker penalty. As they go to Vest, he tries to bounce outside. Nice job. Hey, defensive backs doing their job, coming up and making the play. I believe that was number 3, Matthew Hall.
Yeah, you want to make a tackling, drill video based on that last play. Slide the head to the side, wrap up, drive the legs.
And a great job by the edge, right? Made him bounce it. Smith going to throw, firing for the end zone. Got a man! In and out of his hands, incomplete. Nice job of not giving up on that play and breaking it up. Tyler Hunter.
Yeah. Beautiful pass. Beautiful defense.
Yeah.
Great defense to break that up.
That's not giving up because he was beaten by about 2 or 3 steps.
That's right.
So Vargas will come on for the field goal attempt. Mentioned he's 3 of 3 on the year. He had a clutch one against Orem to send it to overtime in a game of which Spanish Fork beat Orem in double overtime. Olsen to hold. Play clock at 3. 1, and we're going to back him up 5 yards. Oh, they reset the play clock. So he gets a free 25. High snap. May have tugged it. No, he did not. That's in. That first left his foot. I thought maybe it was going, but there it is. Field goal is good. All the penalties, and they're able to hold him to 3.
And yeah, I mean, that's a win for Timpanogos. Keeping him out of the end zone. Obviously, the penalties definitely pushed him back, stopped him, but you'll take it.
Hey, let's send it down to Kenzie. Kenzie, you staying okay down there with all the cannon fodder? What was that, Kenzie? Go one more time.
I said, I know they're coming, but it still freaks me out every time I hear it. I don't know when or where they're coming from.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's getting me and Eric. Well, actually, that one, Eric and I were both ready for that one.
We were.
Yeah. That stinking cannon, man. That ball's going to go into the end zone, bring it out to the 20-yard line. As we have 3 minutes left in the half, and this is a really big drive for Timpanogos. As I shared before, Spanish will get the ball at the half. Timpanogos needs to go down. They got to get 7.
Hey, 3 minutes on the clock for this offense.
Plenty.
Is plenty of time. You have, without a doubt, one of the best quarterbacks in the state, one of the best 4A wide receivers in the state, and a plethora, as they might say, of other talent that can get this ball down the field quickly.
1st and 10. No, we're going to have a false start. Graph reset. Yeah. Kind of rocked back kind of immediately. And would you say I have a plethora of pinatas?
You have a plethora of pinatas and sweaters.
I do have a lot of it.
Speaking of sweaters, you got that nice sleeping bag?
My Igloo. Yeah, absolutely. Igloo Outfitters. IGLUoutfitters.com. Trust me, you need one. It's getting cold. It is amazing. If it gets any colder now, I'm going to put it on for the second half. Riggs going to fire to the swing route to Bretzing. Easton dancing and lost the football. Mr. Official says he's down.
Yeah, he's able to get back that penalty yardage there on 1st down. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Spanish Fork really wanted that ball back.
Hurry up offense here.
And again, with this spread, he got nobody in the middle of the field. You can go quickly. Bretzing does catch it. 3rd down and 9. So here we go. 3rd and 9. Big play. Gonna fire up the seam. There's the man. Livingston, put it in his vicinity. He'll make it work. 1st and 10.
It's really amazing, and that was the same last week. Just put it in the vicinity, and he's going to come down with it.
You know what that was? That was the Zach Wilson back shoulder to his tight end in the 3rd quarter against the Chiefs. I don't miss any of those plays. 2 by 2. We go inside of 2 minutes left. Oh, that ball was tipped and incomplete. Yeah. It is funny that no one ever worries about the pass. It's just beyond the line of scrimmage, it gets tipped. Whenever it's behind line of scrimmage, a little shovel pass or whatever, everything, hurry and jump on it.
You forget that it's a forward pass.
Oh, free rusher. Gets it out to Bretzing. Easton Bretzing with the full head of steam across midfield to the 47-yard line.
Yeah, Bretzing definitely a dual threat. He's gonna hurt you with the run game and also with the pass. Great receiver out of the backfield. Can spread him out wide as well. Great runner in open field as well.
Roll near side. Fires up the rail. Got a man. Nice defense. Maybe 2 steps too late to make that throw. Kyle Topham ranges over, takes care of his third to knock that ball away.
Yeah, really nice defense there. Coming across to protect his third.
Now, Cash McCann was the intended receiver. If Chase throws that maybe a step earlier. Throw the quick hitch to Bretzing. It'll be 3rd down and we'll call it 7. So 3rd and long.
Minute 28. 22, still time.
Riggs, pump it, throw it, wide open is Cash McCann, makes a catch at the 10, inside the 5-yard line where he's brought down. It'll be 1st and goal, Timpanogos.
Before this drive started, we talked about how quickly they can score. Well, we're seeing that. Beautiful pass.
Great concept. They've been throwing that quick hitch on early downs. He pumps it, send the guy right up the seam. Got him.
Yeah, we talked about that even again last week. You stress the edge, you stress the perimeter, you keep throwing those quick hitches out to the perimeter of the field. The defense starts biting on that. Next thing you know, you got an easy one up the seam.
Absolutely a terrific throw that's going to set up a 1st and goal and a chance for the Timberwolves to get in the end zone before the end of half, and then a curious decision they're going to have if they decide to go for it, or if they decide to do this is try to get the onside kick, maybe get an extra one before we go into it. But we want to thank Heidemann & Associates, a flat-rate law firm that is completely focused on you. Get a free consultation by calling 801-472-7742 or go to utah.law to find the law office nearest you. And always want to thank Heidemann & Associates. They're the presenting sponsor of the Rewind Sports Network and make all this possible. They're looking like they're going to go a little bit of this brotherly shove play. Bretzing trying to get in behind Riggs. And Spanish Fork, you asked Coach if they've worked in the weight room, and how about the front, keeping them out of the end zone?
No doubt. They haven't skipped leg day.
Yeah. I did today.
Yes, you did. How dare you?
On Monday. We're going to get it back on Monday.
You have all weekend to
1 rep max. Yeah. I got the number in my head.
What's the number?
485.
Well done.
Going to go on the ground to Bretzing. Chop down to the backfield. Knifing back there to make the play for Spanish Fork is 52, Britt Nielsen. Clock is running at 20 seconds.
Yeah, Britt Nielsen's had 6 tackles for loss. There was another.
Oh, beautiful play call. And in the end zone is Riggs. Touchdown, touchdown, Timpanogos.
Chase Riggs there. Beautiful play fake there. Fakes the handoff inside. Rolls around. Scampers into the paint there.
This is what happens when you're calling a road team game and you look in the end zone and it says Don and your mind mainly goes Spanish. Oh, you guys get a treat at halftime. It is thriller night. That's Austin's 3rd thriller night of the week, I think. 2nd. Number 2. Tis that time of year. We had a little movement before the snap.
Do you remember the first, where you were at when you saw the thriller video?
I was in my house. 1988, I want to say. 88 or 89. I can remember the first time I saw it.
I was at Classic Skating. They were playing it on the TVs there. Me and my brother were just like, this is awesome.
I remember watching with my brother Deke and Colette. I remember seeing that. I was like, what is going on? I'm also old enough to remember I watched Whitney Houston videos off of VHS. So, and we used to record our favorite videos. I know Deke's watching.
Thriller, baby.
Hey, we talked about Igloo Outfitters before. We talked about again Igloo Outfitters, the coziest wearable sleeping bag, has you covered during these chilly nights and days. No more worry about the weather, and just watch your favorite team with comfort with Igloo Outfitters. Go to Igloo, IGLU, Outfitters.com and enter Rewind for $20 off. Never miss the moments, and I promise you, I wore that thing all night last night. That was freezing at Davis.
Have you ever been camping where your sleeping bag was just garbage?
Yes. The Klondike.
It's the worst.
Every time I did the Klondike at Schofield.
Klondike Derby.
The Klondike
Freezing.
at Schofield was brutal.
Sleeping in a snow cave.
Yeah. Parker Harvey. And he got it. So 13 seconds left in the half. 24-21. We'll roll because we're going to be going into halftime soon. If you are Coach Sheeps, would you go on onside kick to see if you get the ball back?
No. 13 seconds left. Look, just kick it downfield. Go into halftime. You have some momentum. You don't want anything negative to happen with the onside kick. And I hate to say just play your game, but play your game.
Yeah.
You know, even though you're down by 3 points, just play your game. It really does always come down to the basics. Who's going to win the line of scrimmage? Who wins the turnover battle? Who has penalties?
Oh. You know what's crazy in games that go up and down the field we just saw here in the first half? The second half doesn't hold pace, typically, at any level.
Yeah, we saw that last week as well with Salem Hills.
Brett Singh to kick it away. And this will be taken at the 2-yard line. And we'll go out across the 25 to the 28 as we have more flags here. And now another flag at the end of the play. And we got a lot of hands going out. And it's probably pretty good we're getting to halftime. Getting a little hot under the shoulder pads.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a rivalry game with the amount of stuff after the whistles and everything else?
Yeah, you know, it's an emotional night, though. You know, you have Spanish Fork. They're saying, hey, look, our 3-5 record is a fluke. It really isn't who we are, right? And we want to prove that to the big boys that are second in region. Because, hey, you know what? We barely lost to Provo 29-22.
Right. And that Provo game, here's the thing about that Provo game. Spanish Fork was losing 21-0, came back, took the lead 22-21, and then it was a late Lessa touchdown and 2-point conversion that got Provo the win. And Spanish Fork still had a shot at the end of that game to tie it up, to send it to overtime. I watch Spanish Fork every week in the red zone.
Yeah, there's no quit. There's absolutely no quit in this Dean Smith team. These guys absolutely... Dustin, sorry.
Dean Smith's a great coach, too.
He was, yes. Dustin, my apologies there. But he talked about finishing. He talked about, hey, I got to help these guys learn how to finish some of these games. Especially, again, with 3 of their losses, they were up by, they were up or they were tied with 3 minutes or less on the clock, and they lost 3 of those games. That's tough.
Yeah. How about this? 45 combined points here in the first half. Are they adding time to the clock, maybe? They have 8 seconds showing on the clock. Officials are looking at watches and everything else. But at halftime, we'll mute our mics, but you will get to watch the Thriller dance as the girls dressed up like zombies. Because Halloween's just a mere image away from today.
I asked Dane this. What's your favorite Halloween candy?
Snickers. Snickers or Reese's Peanut Butter Cup.
Okay.
That's what the daddy tax. The dad tax. The dad tax is usually all Snickers and Reese's or whatever my girls cry about.
So the next morning, your daughters wake
that
up.
night we do it that night, and they have to pay it that night.
Tax.
We take care of it right then, just like FICA. Okay. It comes out before you even get to enjoy it.
And I promise there's some tears. Right?
Oh, plenty.
Lots of tears.
And there's a lot of sass. As that will close out the first half. Wow, man, a high-flying half. Spanish Fork leads 24-21 over Timpanogos. We'll take a break at halftime. We come back. We'll get some notes from Kenzie. She's going to talk to the coaches when they come back on the field. And Eric and I will get back to the game. You're watching Timpanogos football, the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com, presented by Brent Brown Toyota Scion. Welcome back to Spanish Fork High School. Dusty Lister and Eric Lister along with Kenzie Valentine. And let's see if Kenzie had a chance to talk to coaches. Kenzie, if you've had a chance to talk to coaches, let's go ahead and throw in the mic. But Kenzie, did you get a chance to talk to Coach Heaps? We might be having a technical difficulty with Kenzie's mic. So let's we'll wait. So Kenzie, if you can hear me, let me know when you're ready. Go ahead and unmute, and we'll get your report from Coach Heaps. But, Eric, that first half was fast and furious. Spanish Fork's offense was rolling. So was Timpanogos', but Spanish Fork going to start with the ball.
Yeah, and I love the no quit. Neither team has any quit in them. For Timpanogos, with 3 minutes left on the clock, to march down the field, put 7 points on the board, and bring themselves within 3, all heart.
So the second half is underway. That ball goes into the end zone. As I always like to say, these high school kids can drive their cars on I-15, but they can't choose to bring the ball out of the end zone. I'll never understand it. So we'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. Nobody can explain to me why they can't do that. It drives me absolutely nuts.
Well, somebody explained to me as well why we didn't have the Thriller dance at halftime.
I was heartbroken.
It crushed my soul.
So after this,
you dress up like a zombie, and you don't do the Thriller dance.
To do a regular dance. We'll have after this play. We'll get down to Kenzie. She's ready to go. So after this play, we'll send down to Kenzie for get some information when she got from Coach Heaps and Coach Smith. But it is McKay Smith in the shotgun. McKay Smith in the shotgun. Going to hand it off up the middle, and not much there. Go ahead, Kenzie, when you're ready.
Well, talking to Coach Smith, he felt that they played a good first half, but they just need to be more aware in the second half. They need to avoid giving up those big plays and have less penalties. When talking to Coach Heaps, he felt that they made a lot of mistakes first half, and coming up in the second half, they need to focus on finishing, making the plays, and having a lot less missed tackles.
Awesome. Thanks, Kenzie. We'll get some more from Kenzie here in a little bit, but both coaches saying they got to cut out mistakes and penalties. Got to take care of the football. As Smith up the seam and just misses his wide receiver. The intended receiver was Olsen. There is a flag on the play.
I want to go back to that first down. One of the things that we saw definitely in that first half was Vest running straight up the middle for 4 yards on first down.
Yeah.
First down, he gets nothing. Gets back to the line of scrimmage. Definitely Timpanogos making some adjustments there at halftime.
Also holding on the defense, and it'll be enough for a first down. So remember, in high school football, there are no automatic first downs. The yardage picks up the first down. So holding on Bronson, that is Spanish Fork's roster. Number 8 is Robbie Parsons off in the hole. There's a wind now picking up. We didn't have any wind in that first half.
Yeah, get your kites.
So 1st and 10, back to the ground game. And there's a medium gain there for Caden Vest, about 3 yards on first down.
I love how they're still sticking with the gun, with the run, even though maybe it didn't work on that first play.
Back to the ground with Vest, and he's buried in the backfield. Nice job on the edge of making the stop. Getting in there for the stop for Timpanogos is Nash Price, along with number 79. That is Cyrus Gucia.
3rd down and long here.
Correct, pardon me. So 3rd and 9.
Getting the play from the sideline there.
3-by-1 formation. And play action pass. Smith throwing up the rail, fading toward the sideline, and pass interference on Hall. I tend to disagree with that. That ball wasn't catchable. Well, he's playing the ball. I struggle with that one.
You know, I think that what the referee saw there is a little tug, little hold that may have kept the receiver from getting there. But I could see it called both ways.
My other issue, in high school football is about uncatchables or anything else. My ball fades out of bounds. Okay. You needed the tug beforehand, but really, he's looking back for the ball if he goes into him. Usually in high school, you can kind of get, I would say away with it, but it's let go of. Well, it'd be offsetting penalties. The best thing in the world, offsetting penalties. No one gets hurt.
Start over.
Okay, so now the blood pressure.
No, it didn't happen. It didn't exist. It's a time machine.
Well, at least we didn't go back to the days where they would actually mark off both, and you would just get the whatever was left. Right? It'd be a 5-yard gain at the moment.
10 for you, 5 for me.
We're gonna mark it up and then come back. There you go. And El Guapo's still mad. 3rd down and 8. Smith looking screen, got his man. And the ball nearly came out. Does come out the end. Timpanogos says they've got it. If they do, they're set up in the short field with a chance to take the lead. You uncover the pile. And it's Timpanogos football.
That's exactly what Coach Heaps was talking about then at halftime to Kenzie. Let's see if they can take the lead here.
Tyson Miller with the fumble recovery, and it is 1st and 10 Timberwolves at the 31-yard line. Looking to atone for the couple of possessions they gave up right before the end of the half. How about this? Spanishburg not able to double dip on the touchdown, get the ball at the half. Now it's a chance for Timpanogos to do it.
That's right.
That's how big those penalties were on the 1st and goals. It could be 1st and goal from the 20. And that Spanish Fort drive and the hold up for 3. Big. Bretzing. Oh, that's a little dangerous spot. Get his ankle riled up there.
Yeah, he's not a happy camper there.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
A little bit of an alligator roll.
Stopped there by T.J. Evans. Bunch to the top of the screen. Graff, the ISO, the receiver near side. Gonna run some pull, and it's a run with Bretzing. The big fella gets to the 20-yard line. 1st and 10, Timberwolves.
Yeah, great offensive line play there. You know they had a talking to at halftime. Playing aggressive, on the ball. Again, this tempo really keeping Spanish Fork on their heels.
The brothers Graff near side along with McCann. They're going to throw to Livingston. Back shoulder. Luke makes the catch, taps the feet. He's out of bounds, and it's 1st and goal at the 8-yard line.
His stat line has got to be absolutely incredible. He what does he catch? 100% of the balls that are thrown his way?
Oh, that is so good. That ball just got stuck in the air a little bit too, and Luke just late hands. That's the best part about his game. It's late hands to make the catch.
Yes.
Doesn't give the
Some
DB
strong
a shot.
hands.
Gonna go Bretzing up the middle, and the big fella inside the 5 down to the 3. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Yeah, I love Chase Riggs, how he continues the fake. Even though he hands it off, he fakes that outside screen.
Back to Bretzing, and Easton's in. They take the turnover, turn it into 6, and it's 27-24 Timberwolves.
Yeah, guaranteed that is exactly what they talked about in halftime. Let's smash ball football up the middle, keep them on their heels, that tempo. And also when you have a receiver like Livingston that you can rely on, you got a quarterback that can get the ball there as well.
Yeah.
Their weapons are tremendous.
Riggs goes off the field and says, Utah forever. Point after is good. And welcome back to Spanish Fort. You know, I brought up the Riggs quote because last night in our pregame show and then all throughout our alternate broadcast, I got called Dusty Garrity. They call me the Buddy Garrity of Utah high school football. I don't take that as a compliment.
Nor should you.
I don't.
You should be offended.
You know, my middle name is Garrett, so Dusty Garrett T. Then they thought I was even funnier. So kickoff will go into the end zone. And bring it out to the 20-yard line. You know, I just barely started watching Friday Night Lights. That was the other reason I got brought up. I hadn't watched it until recently. The wife and I are really much enjoying that.
Hey, now we're living it.
That's true.
It's Friday Night Lights, but it's a little chillier here than
in Texas.
In Texas.
Yeah. I can tell you, I've driven all over and flown all over the state of Texas. I've never been to Dillon. It doesn't exist. I went looking for... Now, I've been to Permian, and I have been to Permian High School, and I've been to Ratliff Stadium, which is in the movie. Ratliff Stadium is not on campus, by the way. It is a jaunt to get out to the east side of town.
That's a whole different world.
It's amazing. Follow me on Twitter. When I go to Texas, I take pictures of all the stadiums I'm near. So out comes Smith and the Dons. Fire that ball to the curl at the 25-yard line. A gain of 5.
Yeah,
and that's Olsen.
Changing things up as well. I mean, I think that was their first pass play on first down. Trying to mix things up. They're definitely not going to rest.
Well, so bunch near side, receiver to the top of the screen. This Spanish Fork offense is a little different. You've had guys like Morley Bennett and some others in the past years. They don't have that guy on the outside. But what you have is a very accurate quarterback. 10 on the play clock. Smith the throw, looking near side. Pump it, throw it up the rail. And that ball's incomplete. Hall, nice job of cutting that off.
Yeah,
and it'd be 3rd down and 5.
Great defense with him every step of the way there. McKay throwing a nice ball, though.
That was a pretty ball. A nice job of staying patient, too. He didn't speed anything up. He wasn't quickening it up.
You know, the one thing that we haven't seen in this game, we haven't seen sacks.
That's true.
There has been a little bit of pressure, but most of these passes are getting out quick. Able to run a lot of play action as well. Defense ends up being one step behind.
Timpanogos shows a 2-shell, bringing extra man. Throw complete to Olsen. Inside of Timpanogos territory, Olsen still on his feet. Inside the 30, to the 20, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Spanish Fork. Ryan Olsen with the house call. And Spanish Fork now in the lead.
It's going to be back and forth. I was just going to say, talk about a shootout. We're seeing one here tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, I got to check on Kenzie. All right, she's okay.
She's okay.
She's okay. To give you a thumbs up. When I looked down there, she was around like the 30-yard line. I mean, she's small. That would blow her away. I'm worried.
Do not stand in front of that thing.
Her parents entrusted her with me. I told her they'd take care of her. And Mama and Papa are watching. I know it. The Valentines hanging out in Colorado. As the point after is good. 7:56 left in the third quarter. Fireworks.
Neither one of these teams is going away. They're not going to just lay down. It's just, I love it. I absolutely love it.
We'll keep it here. And again, want to thank Brent Brown Toyota Scion for their support of Timpanogos football on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. The second year they've been the presenting sponsor of Timpanogos football on our network, and we certainly want to thank them for everything. And again, that's Brent Brown Toyota Scion in Orem. So make sure you stop by. That was one right off of University Parkway. Fact, that's where I bought the car that brings tears to my eyes, but my kids love it. When I finally broke down and bought a minivan, I bought it from Brent Brown Toyota.
Did you lose a little bit of manhood?
Not manhood.
You did that?
I gained a better husband card.
Okay.
It got a punch on the husband card.
Traded in one thing for another.
Traded in my SUV, Megan's SUV, for that one. She wanted it. And I got a punch on the husband card. Good husband card. Yeah.
That's the most important thing.
Yeah. I wanted an SUV. It just didn't work. And that kick goes through the end zone. Just short of being an Uno.
Keep that wife happy.
Yes.
Keep the children happy.
She's the one's going to drive the car. Every once in a while, I do drive it. I won't say I love it. But it works. But go to go to Brent Brown Toyota Scion. They'll take care of you. Like I said, I've experienced it. But here we go. Now trailing 31-28. Timpanogos had the momentum. Got that turnover to start it. Got the touchdown. Riggs in the offense. Look, they've only been stopped on turnover on downs. It's the only thing that's gotten them tonight.
Back and forth we go.
Bretzing in the pistol behind Riggs. Play action. Riggs rolling right, firing for Livingston. That's a good choice. Double covered. They had him over and under. Oh, we got a flag. Refs reffing, taking away fun. We're going to bring this one back.
Regardless, that bracket coverage was there. And Livingston is just, here, let me take this.
Yeah, and a dot. That was a dot from Riggs.
Absolutely. Beautiful pass.
Cut through the wind. The whole nine. That's got a, if it's this near side, maybe formation penalty. Legal man downfield. They say number 10. So if it was a wide receiver, then that's the BYU plague.
That's odd.
The 2 men on the line of scrimmage. The good thing is they didn't throw it to McCann and get the illegal touching penalty, which counts the down. So that's the thing. You got to make sure your alignment's right. You know who's on, who's off. A covered man on the end line of scrimmage cannot go out for a pass. Again, to go play action. Throw and intercepted. He was looking for Dash McCann, and it's taken away. And on the interception for Spanish Fork was number 9, Will Gunter.
Yeah, what's interesting, when I talked to Coach Smith yesterday, he talked about creating turnovers and not turning the ball over. Well, they definitely took the ball away there. I'm sure there's a huge smile on Coach Smith's face.
Yeah. That was a ball where you thought McCann would get to the sideline. It was thrown to the sideline. McCann wasn't there. I don't know who had the miscommunication on that part.
It was an interesting play there because there were 2 wide receivers in the same area. And so there must have been some form of miscommunication for sure.
Yeah. You flood the zone, but you flood it with layers. So back comes Spanish Fork, a chance to extend the lead. Can this Timpanogos defense bow up and keep him out of the end zone? Smith, pump it, throw it, looking for his man. Hall's there, and Hall nearly makes a one-handed interception. Nice job of breaking that up. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
A tremendous defense there. Beautiful coverage.
Thought for just a second.
Gets his head around, knocks down the pass. Beautiful.
So bring it back quickly. It's 2nd down and 10.
You know, I think we're going to hear Brighton Tate's name here. He's had 10 sacks on the season. See if we get some pressure.
They're going to run off the left side, and Vest to the 10. Vest has a 1st and goal at the 5. And there's a penalty on the play. We're going to bring it back. It's a holding penalty on Spanish Fork. Back them up 10. They'll make it 2nd down and 20.
Yeah, not what you want to see. These penalties really hurting both teams and definitely hurting Spanish Fork. Definitely before half, right before half.
So we're going to back them up 10. And you have the new clock rules in FHS too. The clock is rolling since it was a running play. Play action, fire to the screen. And yards after catch has him down to the 15-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 2 as Will Dart, his brother was a stud quarterback and pitcher at Spanish Fork, and Will showing it on the outside.
Yeah, both teams love that outside screen there, that wide receiver screen to the perimeter. Again, letting your athlete be athletes.
Yeah. His brother Zach Dart is at BYU as a pitcher for the Cougars and was an outstanding baseball player here.
You know, it was 2nd in a city block, and now it's 3rd and manageable.
And now it's a New York City block. Gonna run at nothing doing. Nice job in the middle of that defense. Getting the job done. Penetration, able to wrap him up and throw him back. It'll be 4th down and a decision here for Coach Smith.
Great job by Timpanogos getting the pressure there.
Big man in the middle. I can't see his number cleanly. But here we go, 4th down, and Coach Smith takes a timeout with 5:59 left in the 3rd. And wonder, was it a formation lineup or what? Here for Coach Smith to decide what he wants to do.
This is when you need one of those igloo things.
Got one.
Yeah.
I think during the break it's going to get on. It'll make its appearance
You're gonna
tonight.
put that thing on?
Yeah. I forgot my gloves, and the great thing the igloo, the sleeves are open, so I can stick my hand inside there and get it warmed up.
I got 2 pairs of gloves.
It's the Rockies.
It is the Rockies.
Gives us a chance to thank another sponsor. We talk about Igloo Outfitters. They have been a send from the heavens tonight. So if Kenzie wants my igloo, she can come up and get it. Kenzie's cold. I got one up here for you, Kenzie. Make her waddle on the sideline to do the penguin walk. So Spanish Fork going to go for the field goal. Vargas is 4 for 4 on the year. He hit one earlier tonight. This is a chip shot for him at 33-yard attempt. Good snap. Clean operation. And it is good.
And no penalties.
No penalties. Hey.
It's a celebration.
And a win for the Timpanogos defense.
Absolutely a win for the Timpanogos defense. Similar to right before half. Keeping them out of the end zone there. I do want to shout out, though, Spanish Fork, just talking about just what great young men these are. Coach Smith was talking about how this past winter, several of the Spanish Fork players and the Especially for Athletes nonprofit organization raised a bunch of money, purchased meals, and delivered food to over 130 families in southern Utah County. He said they're going to do it again, and we'll do it for probably 200-plus families. That's what it's all about, serving the community.
Well, and these athletes have a history of doing that in Spanish Fork. There's a famous young man that became famous for a bad thing. Dane Money was a quarterback and baseball player here at Spanish Fork, and famously playing in a play-in game against Maple Mountain. Thought the game was over. They're playing at Provo High School. He ran out the clock. He wasn't thinking. He dropped the ball in play, thinking the game was over. Maple Mountain recovered it, returned it for a touchdown. It became national news on the mistake. And Dane Money heard about a lot of stuff from the community and everything else. That night, decided to go out and start doing some service around his neighborhood. Started mowing lawns and asked people how he can help him. And he owned his mistake that I'm going to learn from. And one of my favorite stories from covering high school sports, because a young man that nationally, I mean, this was picked up by everybody, that happened. And then that story got picked up as well.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And, usually all you hear about is the mistake.
Right.
You don't hear about the redemption. You don't hear about, the I'm sorry and owning it and doing something really going above and beyond to help the community.
So out comes Riggs in the offense. Can they bounce back trailing by 6? Gonna throw out to Livingston. Luke with the stiff arm. and spins to the 30-yard line. A gain of 10 on first down. First down to first down. And a new set of downs.
Again with the tempo.
Well, I'm going to say they're going to move the chains. Now to Bretzing. Got a hole off the right side, and Bretzing across midfield to the 48-yard line.
In the last line of defense there to keep him from the end zone, because if not, he had the wheels. He was going.
It was a Boilermaker Bretzing.
That was a train, a choo-choo train for sure. Had full steam.
They go back to Bretzing. Just your ho-hum gain of 4. It'll be second down and 6.
Yeah, I love that north and south, just getting upfield, picking up what you can, making it second and manageable.
McCann near side with Graff. And back to Bretzing. Easton did a nice job driving those legs, and Bretzing inside the 45-yard line. Mark him at the 42. Third down and manageable here for Chase Riggs and the offense.
He's just been a workhorse.
Riggs over the middle to Graff. Graff has the first down at the 35-yard line.
What a beautiful read by Chase Riggs. He knows, he sees the blitz coming, and he throws it right where that defender was coming from, right there in the middle.
First and 10. Riggs and roll to his right. Was looking for the wheel, throws it. Nobody home on the play. He obviously thought someone was running to that spot. He had the read. Nobody there. And if you want to be able to see more clearly, go to our friends at Advanced Windows. Fall window sale, $2,000 off, 10 windows or more. Get 60 months, 0% financing for a limited time only. 801-850-9100 or go to advancedwindowsusa.com. Riggs, couple guys. The safe spot intercepted. Goes off the receiver's hands and picked off. Robinson had to go right off his mitts.
You know, interesting. Coach Smith was talking about that for Spanish Fork, saying that the ball wasn't bouncing their way in some previous games, but definitely bouncing their way in this game. You got to hate that as a quarterback. And, you know, what was interesting about that is they went empty backfield. They were spreading that defense out. Nice pass, just couldn't quite hold on to it there. Good defense by Spanish Fork, being in the right place at the right time.
Now Robinson want that play back. Could his defense redeem him a little bit here? First and 10. They show run, throw to the outside, up the sideline and out of bounds. And on the catch and run for Spanish Fork is Tyson Mansfield.
Yeah, he's played quite a game. He's had four touchdowns so far this season, 19 catches. He's been one of the favorite targets for McKay Smith.
First and 10 at the 49. Smith fires outside to Olsen. Nice job by Hall. Got around the block, makes the tackle.
Beautiful job there by Hall, getting around the blocker and makes a nice open field tackle. Can't stress how difficult that is.
He did a great job getting around, especially you got to have willing corners. If your corner's not willing to do that, you're playing 10 on 11. So second down and 8. Smith firing deep, and that ball falls incomplete. Nice job at switching off on the defense.
Yeah, hasn't quite been able to connect there with Warren. He's thrown to him several times there on the outside. Hasn't been able to connect. Definitely has the arm strength. timing's just been slightly off there.
Three minutes and 9 seconds left in the third quarter.
Let's see if Brighton Tate or Jesse King can get home here on third and long.
They bring in extra defender. Smith, ball tipped and incomplete, nearly intercepted. Had a couple of shots at it off of his hands. Nice job by this Timpanogos defense.
Beautiful defense there. And I think we might see a punt.
Second punt of the night? Yeah, Spanish Fork's second punt of the night.
First punt of the second half here.
Not sure what Spanish Fork fans are mad about on that play. They want a pass interference? I want a pass interference, and he actually the one that touched the ball. That's okay.
I think the ball was tipped as well.
Yeah, which is clean too.
The ball's tipped.
Oh man, that was a high snap, able to get to it. And that's going to take a down roll inside the 15-yard line. I think around the 12. No, they're going to call it at the 15.
You know, I thought they were getting close there to block it. Timpanogos has one block, or two block punts so far this season.
Hey, the first quarter tonight was 28 points. What I talk about at halftime, sometimes these games slow down in the second half. We've had 10 points in the third quarter.
Yeah. Slowed down a little bit, but they're still driving down the field.
Yeah.
I mean, they really are marching up and down the field. If it isn't for a couple of, penalties here and there, you may see even more points.
We don't have any official stats at the moment, but can I guess we're going to get close to a combined 1,000 yards tonight. I'm not kidding either.
Yeah.
Bretzing's probably rushed for over 100. Riggs probably passed for nearly 300. As they go back to Bretzing, big fella gets maybe a yard or two. Second down and long.
Yeah. Have you seen his legs?
Yeah, I saw him when we were down the field. Yeah.
I mean, they do call him Beast.
Yeah.
The Beast.
Riggs rolls to his right, going to fire to Bretzing in the flat. Gets chopped down at the 20-yard line. And that's the thing. Where do you choose to tackle that kid? Go to his legs and taste his quad.
Yeah. Eat this. Like, call that guy Quadzilla.
Yeah.
Tree trunks.
Third down and 5. Riggs firing for Livingston. Makes the adjustment. Of course he does. Out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
Man, those back shoulders are just bread and butter for those two.
I'm going to miss.
Beautiful catch.
I'm going to miss watching this kid play high school football. So savvy, so clean. The Utah high school football version of Austin Collie.
Yeah.
Gonna throw. Riggs. Oh, he's got Livingston. Got him! Livingston with the catch on the skinny post inside of Spanish Fork territory at the 43-yard line.
Yeah, Coach Smith talked about, hey, we're not going to stop this guy. You got to slow him down a little bit. I'll tell you, if that tackle wasn't made, it's gone.
It's great recognition in the middle of the field to get back on it, too.
Great recognition.
Riggs hands off.
Going back
to the 40.
That play, though, Chase Riggs had time. He had time to throw that ball. Great offensive line play. Keeping him clean pretty much all night.
Bretzing on the carry there. Second down and 7. Looking near side. Going to fire near side. Catch made. Oh, in out of the hands of McCann. Was running before he caught it. And it'll be third down and long.
Yeah, he knew he had the defender going one way. He was trying to move his body, of course, the other way. Got to secure the pass, secure the catch first.
Try to body catch it.
Yeah.
So I run Bretzing here, maybe. Third down to get yourself a shorter fourth down. Riggs. McCann with the catch and is popped. Probably knocked the wind out of him. It'll be fourth down and 4 for Timpanogos. I recognize that one right there.
I'll say that hurts. That is painful. Way to hold on to the ball. And that was a great defensive hit as well.
And Clean got his head ready from it.
Two things can exist at the same time. Great catch, great tackle. Hope he's okay.
Like I said, got his head away. We had the one earlier that I don't know that I loved the call. I guess he was defensive because he was off his feet. Right. But that one was, right to the ribs. Right. Nothing you can do about that. That's a football.
Yeah.
We removed that. We might as well not call it football.
That's correct. Just put flags on it.
Yeah, we just call it basketball at that point. But good for McCann. Anyone who's ever had the wind knocked out of him. Whoa, and a late flag? Did McCann say something as he stood up?
Multiple flags?
I mean, as soon as he stood up and started walking, multiple flags come out. So did McCann say something as he stood up? Well, Mr. Official's pointing
and
north.
If it is against them, that hurts them tremendously. It was 4th and short.
Well, he's pointing going north here. Going to go down. An explanation being given to Coach Smith. He does not agree with it. Because that is so late. Here's the thing. I get the frustration because it's so late.
Yes.
We're talking minutes late.
Yes.
Not moments.
Yeah.
Minutes.
Was that a sideline call? You had coaches and players out on the field.
I know we're on a Timpanogos broadcast, and that is not a defensive player. That is not a defensive. He's running an out route, first of all. He wasn't running over the middle. That's not a defensive player.
How do you call that 2 minutes after the play
I know.
over?
So, it was not defensive. Now, I'll give this to officials credit. The high school rule book is very gray, meaning there's a ton of interpretation without a lot of guideline to it.
Shoulder pad to ribs. Yeah. That wasn't helmet to helmet or leading with the helmet.
Yeah. Bretzing. Yeah, I don't love that. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. I put that up with like celebration penalties. I don't love it.
Yeah. Hurry up offense. Tempo. Getting on the line.
Bretzing. Right back up the gut. It'll be 3rd down and 5 for the Timberwolves.
Yeah, he's earning every yard at this point. That Spanish Fort defense trying to clog the lanes, trying to clog all the gaps. Easton still playing tremendous smash mouth football.
3rd down and 6. Riggs looking. He's got McCann, or probably Graff, makes the catch. Touchdown, Timpanogos. Gabe Graff with the TD with 7 seconds left. And now we have a flag at the end of this play.
Hey, I'll just say this. Chase Riggs bought time, sprinting out to his right, rolling out to his right, buying time. Sees his wide receiver open in the end zone. Absolute laser touchdown.
It's a good job of catching out late, and a sideline warning to Spanish Fork. The next one will be a penalty. As this game is getting heated. Parker Harvey on for the point after. It just has to clear it. Doesn't have to clear by much, and now we have another flag. We got leverage. Well, or maybe they hit the deep snapper. You can't hit the snapper on the snap.
You know, the back judge threw the flag there.
Yeah. There's no.
I do love these fans, though. You know what? I saw some cowbells.
Yeah.
Some whistles.
Like I said, they usually only get to use it 1 week a year during the Spanish Fork Rodeo, so why not bring them out to the football? 7 seconds left in the third. We'll roll through since we're going to be taking to a commercial here momentarily. We're the kind broadcast. We're not TV. We're the kind broadcasts. But I tell you, the fight from both these teams, this is enjoyable.
This is where Spanish Fork has just got to say, look, put it behind us.
Yeah.
You can't let the last play hurt you now. Right?
Yeah, can't compound it, right?
It absolutely can't. So you got to take a deep breath, regroup, and just absolutely move forward.
Yeah, you can't.
Hey, and they're playing my favorite song.
I love this song. I played this at the gym, and everyone kind of starts to give the little head bob.
That's right.
And then I played the Rocky IV workout montage.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
Hey.
All music. So I try to make it through the squat days you prepared for me.
Yes.
The squat and the pit shark. Brett Singh puts this one away. And we'll bring it out to the 20-yard line.
What a close one.
This is so much fun.
By 1 point, Timpanogos leading.
And what's the interesting thing is if you're Spanish Fork and you start thinking, hey, we're going to get points, and then you go for 2 early.
Right.
Do you wait for it later?
Right.
Do you try to make it a 7-point game on a touchdown here if you were to score on this drive? There's all kinds of interesting things we're going to see down the stretch here.
Yeah.
And they're still mad about that personal foul.
At this point, again, what are you going to do?
You gotta flush it. One of my favorite coaches from college baseball, and I remember his name, was the coach at Cal State Fullerton. And he put a toilet in the top of the dugout, and his whole thing is, hey, when bad things happen, we gotta flush it. We have to move on.
Double flush this one.
It's a 2-timer there, pal. Throw it outside.
This is a 2-flusher.
This will be second down and 8 when we come back. What a good one through 3. We close out the third quarter. It's Timpanogos 35, Spanish Fork 34. When we come back, it'll be the fourth and final quarter of the regular season. You're watching Timpanogos football on the. And welcome back. Start of the fourth quarter. Dusty Lister, Eric Lister, Kenzie Valentine down on the sideline. Oh, nice job of that defense. Got around the edge. Will make it third down and long on the carry for Vest, as both these run defenses have clogged down the running lanes.
Yeah, in the second half, both have done a much better job of closing the gaps, slowing down the run game, bringing up third and manageable, though.
On a super windy night, folks, get your igloo, IGLU, outfitters.com. Mine's on. I'm feeling so much better. Smiles back. Gonna throw. Pressure comes to the first sack of the night. Getting back there for the sack was Jesse King.
Jesse King came into this game with 5 sacks. That's number 6 on the season. Absolutely fantastic. Pressure and doesn't quit, man. He just has a motor, keeps grinding, makes it happen, and forces him to punt.
With all the points, Timpanogos' defense is the only one that's forced punts tonight. Timpanogos' defense is the only one to get a sack tonight. Amazing. Got that punt away. And a fair catch taken by Tyler Hunter. As this game early in the fourth quarter, now a chance to get up 2 scores. Neither team has gotten up 2 scores in this game.
Yeah, and you see, honestly, right now, Timpanogos, they're jumping up and down, they're hooting and hollering, they're absolutely pumped. You see a little bit of a momentum swing here.
So a chance. I take that back, 24-14. Spanish Fork was up 24-14. Then the Timpanogos scored the touchdown for the half, got the turnover to start the third quarter, scored their touchdown, and since then it's been a seesaw.
Yeah, and I guarantee you Coach Smith is just going to harp again on the penalties. I mean, it took away a touchdown right before half, gave Tim a first down on that last drive that was huge.
I just heard them playing Ice Ice Baby. First down and 10. Gonna run, Brett Singh to the 46-yard line.
Yeah, again, the beast making things happen. 5 yards.
We had movement at the top, but that's I think they'll take the loss of down and the loss of yardage.
Yes.
Because you had a receiver still getting set there.
Yeah.
But again, if I'm a coach, I'd rather take the loss, send them down, than back them up 5 yards and give them second down. Third down and 7, 2-down territory. If anything we've seen from Timpanogos tonight. They went for it on the 50-yard line to open the game.
That's right. Yeah, they're not scared.
Yeah.
They're definitely going to go for it if they don't get it here.
Riggs over the middle, tipped and nearly intercepted, nearly caught. Nice job by the defense, and that was Isan Kojima. Young man has scored a touchdown earlier in the game.
Yeah, Isan Kojima, 34 tackles on the season so far. Sinks back into coverage, able to get his hand on the ball, and force a fourth down.
Then 4th down and 7. Bretzing could be the first punt tonight for Timpanogos, and it is. Spiraling kick that takes a Timberwolf roll. Livingston lets it die at the 5-yard line. So it'll be a 95-yard field in front of Smith and the Dons.
You know, with this wind that has picked up, I do wonder if that is going to impact the rest of this game. Especially if you're forced to throw the ball.
I mean, here's the craziest thing about the wind. Some of the flags straight away from us are blowing sideways. Some of the flags are blowing right at us. How does that happen?
It's a tornado.
Now, the flags closest to us are blowing straight. It's a crosswind.
That's right.
So out comes Smith and the Dons. Then they go up the gut with Vest. And he gets out to the 9-yard line.
Yeah, I think that's smart here. You have time. You have time. Don't rush it. You don't have to just pass the ball. Run it up the middle. Do what's worked. Vest has done well. He could rip one off here for 80 yards without any problems. So stick with what works.
This Timberwolf defense has been very, very good against the run in the second half. Vest again, bounces off a couple. Ooh, he was about a step away from popping that. But there it is, 3rd down once again, and territory where this Timpanogos defense can get off the field and get the ball back in the hands of Chase Riggs and the offense. If they can come up with a stop on 3rd down and 3.
They're taking their time here, huddling up. You don't see that tempo.
So 3 receivers to the top of the screen. I'll probably go 2 in the H-back. Play action. Throw out to the screen. Dart. Can't slip the tackle, and down he goes. Nice job of knifing back there to make the play. I saw a 49. Did I read that right? But there's not a 49 on our roster. So beautiful. I'd love to give some love there, but we don't have a name.
Beautiful open field tackle there.
Great job of getting back there to make the play. My only guess is that Liam Fuller changed his jersey. So Spanish Fork to punt it away again. Line drive kick. Angles away from Hunter. He's got to let it roll. Peter, stay away. And it'll be Spanish Fork ball, or probably Timpanogos ball at the Spanish Fork 47.
Great stop by the defense there. I think Spanish Fork is going to want that play call back. They've been doing so well just running it. I mean, hey, 3rd and 4-ish. Run straight up the middle there, see what you can get.
Austin made me put the hood on. I like messing up my hair, but I guess I'll be a little warmer. So here we go, 7.5 left. Gonna go to Bretzing, and it opens up, and just a shoestring tackle, keeping the Bretzing Boilermaker from taking that to the house.
By a fingernail there.
Oh, mercy. He had all the momentum. Nobody wanted to step in front of that. There's not a safety in this state that wanted some of that. And again, Bretzing. There was a running back in the day when Eric Kerr was at Jordan, his first state championship. His name was Clay Moss, and Clay played at Weber State. And this is what he runs like. Clay Moss ran, he wasn't as big as Bretzing, but that dude ran hard, and he ran downhill with awesome defenses.
You know, you just love these guys that they're like, look, I don't want to take punishment. I'm going to deliver it. And that's exactly what we see here from Easton.
That's the old saying, he runs behind his pads.
He runs behind his pads.
So 1st and 10 at the 36-yard line. It is Livingston, the near side receiver. Riggs goes back to the ground again. Bretzing, and like I said, he's like a couple of steps away.
He is. Just a little bit heavy legs there. Gets tripped up, but still falls forward. He's definitely the back that always is falling forward. You never see him falling backwards.
He's got lead in his helmet.
Hey, what are you doing?
Getting my hands warm. I forgot my gloves. This igloo is amazing, man. I'm telling you.
It's full body.
It is so good. I am so warm. Now I'm going to get my hands warm. Bretzing bounces it. Bretzing inside the 25. Dives toward the 20. And another flag. So we're going to have a holding penalty. This is going to come back.
Yeah, you saw Bretzing there being patient, following his blockers, bouncing it, continuing to bounce it outside. Unfortunately, looks like this is coming back.
So holding on a receiver. Josh Graff going to pick up the penalty.
Definitely hearing some applause from the Spanish Fork side of the stadium here.
Hopefully Kenzie's surviving down there. Been cold.
She needs an igloo.
I offered it. She just laughed. But she'd have to waddle. She'd have to drawstring it and waddle around down there. There's not a lot of room to run in this.
Like a penguin?
Like a penguin. That's why it's an igloo. So 2nd down and 14. Riggs outside. This is Gabe Graff. Slips a tackle. Gabe inside the 30. Man, he's had himself a night. He's got 2 touchdown catches on the evening, and he had a big play there.
He has, and talk about being slippery. He is elusive.
He's one of the few coming back.
Play.
One of the few we got out there who are going to be coming back next year. Bretzing has the 1st down inside the 25-yard line. 1st and 10, Timberwolves.
Yeah, trying to add to this lead here. Give yourself a little bit of wiggle room. Try to get up by 2 scores, maybe. Now, here's the question. Do you go for 2 if you're Timpanogos?
No, I take the field goal because then they got to go for 2. Either way, right? You go for 2 and you don't get it, you open up the chance for them to tie it with an extra point. I'd much rather kick the point after and make them go for 2 and get a shot. 1st and 10, going to go screen to Livingston. Luke being patient at the 20, dances inside there at the 20-yard line. McCann is reacting. I don't think there was a flag. But McCann's reacting like well, he does have a hold. We couldn't see the flags. They were kind of blocked by the coaching staff in the sideline, but the way McCann reacted, you knew there was a flag there. His uncle's in the building tonight. His uncle is Dave McCann, the former KSL lead anchor on the evening news. Currently with BYU TV. In fact, he's a brave man sitting with the Spanish Fork fans tonight.
Shout out to the DJ tonight, whoever is managing the music for this crowd.
Definitely of your generation. Yeah. I love all this music. So first down and 20. Go back to the ground with Bretzing. And Easton gets to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, what a beautiful read there. You had pressure coming right up the middle. And Bretzing sees it, bounces outside for a nice pickup.
I know Deke Litzter's in the building tonight, my older brother, your cousin.
Yes.
And that's all the music Deke taught me when I was a little kid. I love all the hair band music, Van Halen. Not a grunge guy because it killed hair band music.
That's right.
Monster ballads died when Kurt Cobain came to the world.
That's right.
Uh-oh, bad snap. Did Riggs get back on top of it? I think he did. It'll be third down and long. Now the question is, do you go for it on fourth down? Or you pooch punt it?
You know, what's been interesting is their field goal. They've been 5 of 12
Yeah.
so far this season, but they do have a 42-yarder.
Well, and here's the interesting thing in high school. If you miss it outside the 20-yard line, it goes to the 20-yard line.
Yeah.
Bretzing on the outside, Livingston working the slot. Riggs, pump it left, fires, got a man, got the catch, and the touchdown! Dash McCann!
Beautiful, beautiful. You see Chase Riggs with the pump, the pump fake, and then he lets it fly for the touchdown.
Both
Beautiful
McCann,
pass.
McCann boys scored on that dash and cash. A dash of this, a dash of that equals 6 points. And now the point after to make it an 8-point game.
His fourth touchdown of the season. And that answers your question. Do you go for it? Well,
we're on the same wavelength, Coach Heaps. 3:08 left in the fourth quarter and an 8-point lead for the Timberwolves. You're watching Timberwolf football on the Rewind Sports Network. And welcome back. Dusty Litzter, Eric Litzter, Kenzie Valentine surviving down there on the side. She's near the Timpanogos sideline. Kenzie, anything good happening down there?
Yeah, Dusty, these guys are fired up right now. They just can't wait to win this game and pull it out for the end of the season.
How cold is it on the field? At the top of the press box, it's pretty cold.
Oh, it's freezing. I wish that I was in the game right now.
Well, I offered it. You just stay down the field. We'll get back with Kenzie a little bit later. She will have the reaction post-game.
yeah, there we have Easton using his monster leg to knock it out of the end zone.
So out comes McKay Smith and the Dons. Don't stop believing.
Hey, everyone's singing it.
I love this song until the 2005 White Sox absolutely ruined it with A.J. Pierzynski. It's the only song, get this, it's the only song that topped the charts 3 different times. On its original release, then Laguna Beach, and then Sopranos. Made it number 1. That's not a lie. Out. They go back to the screen to play the end of the last drive. They go to dart on the screen, and it's a gain of 2.
Yeah, they can't quite get that blocked up the way that they want to, but also credit the Timberwolves for the pursuit. The pursuit, everybody to the ball, getting there as quickly as possible to stop that for a short gain.
On second down, Smith over the middle, got his man. I believe that was Olsen. No, it wasn't. That was 28 for the first down. And I lost my, the wind got it. Flipped me over.
Looks like Nixon Warren.
There's Nixon Warren on the catch. So 1st and 10 for the Dons. Again, Smith stepping up in the pocket, fires to the out. That catch is made, and that is Olsen as he gets out of bounds at the 42-yard line.
And strong arm to throw it in this wind from really one side of the field to the other. And also, I wanted to credit again that offensive line on that previous play, giving McKay Smith plenty of time to throw the ball. He was definitely going through his reads.
2 by 1, 2nd down and 1. Throw out to the screen. Olsen trying to get to the edge, and he won't get there. Nice job again back there and making the play. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
What a tackle. I'm loving these open field tackles by Timpanogos.
The second half has been a totally different defense. That was Nash Price on the stop. 3rd down and 1. Timpanogos starting to feel themselves a little bit. 3rd and 1, Smith. Fire up the rail, got his man. 1st down at the 42-yard line.
Man, what a play call. Risky there. 3rd and 1. You throw downfield, but you easily could have run the ball to Best.
Screen. Smith got it to his man. That's got to be illegal men downfield. No flag on the play. It'll be a 1st down, but yeah, guys, 10 yards down the field, and that ball is beyond the line of scrimmage.
Wow.
We've had that called 3 times tonight.
Yeah. That was something else.
I wouldn't bring it up if it hadn't been called multiple times tonight. 1st and 10 from the 25. And it's Vest on the carry. Then Vest to the 15, down to the 12. Another fresh set of downs for the Dons. And I hate to say this, they might score too quickly.
Yeah, it looks like there is a flag, and
Those pink flags are getting me.
they are.
And there's one of the linemen from Spanish Fork saying it's on Timpanogos. Well, I take that back. Dart isn't happy.
No.
Oh, there it is. So that goes on Graff. And it'll be half the distance to the goal, so it'll be 1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
And I hope everybody has their popcorn, because this game is going down to the wire here. Minute 10 left.
Well, here's the interesting thing, too. Spanish Fork has 2 timeouts left, and Timpanogos has all 3 of theirs.
Yeah.
Minute 10 left. You score. If you don't get the 2, it's onside kick time because you can't get the ball back if you're Spanish Fork. Unless you're Mario Cristobal. Vest near side, tripped up, and a flag on the play. Man alive, we've got some penalties tonight. As Hunter got back there and made the tackle. You got to shoot it. You know, when you got linebackers and safeties, hey, you got to shoot your shot. And he shot it right there.
Definitely. Got the shoestring tackle, brought him down for a loss. We'll see what the penalty is.
Hold on the offense, number 15. 10 yards, 15 first down.
Was that a makeup call for
Yeah, I think so.
the illegal man downfield, possibly?
So 1st and goal at the 16. Pump it, throw it, got a man. Got the catch, no, incomplete. went off of his shoulder pads, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Oh, he's going to be sick tonight.
What a pass. What a beautiful, beautiful pass there. Right out, coming off the penalty. Going for the jugular. So close.
We were going to have high drama with the 2-point conversion. Just couldn't bring it in and kicked off his shoulder pads. Right off the breastplate. Second and goal. Smith, pressure coming. Brian Tate with the sack. Timeout, Spanish Fork. Brighton Tate
and
with the second sack of the evening.
That's 12 sacks on the year. Tremendous defensive player.
Well, his first of the evening, second for the team. Just King had the first one.
Okay. 11 sacks on the year.
Yeah. Brighton Tate.
Impressive.
We talked about a kid on the baseball team, is stud too. So timeout here for Spanish Fork, and now if you're Timpanogos, I mean, I don't love saying, hey, get soft with your coverage, but now you're squatting the goal line.
Yeah, and honestly, if I'm Spanish Fork, I'm throwing something over the middle. I really am. You have time. You have timeouts. Throw something over the middle, because you know that Timpanogos is going to be trying to protect the perimeter, thinking, hey, you're going to throw it to the edge and get out of bounds. They've been soft at times on over the middle.
Well, let's see what Coach Smith draws up here. So 3rd and goal. Caden Vest in the backfield with McKay Smith. Smith looking, rolls to his left, fires the ball complete to Vest inside the 20. Vest to the 15, and now a timeout from Spanish Fork. No, they're going to get right up to the line of scrimmage, and now the timeout. So 34 seconds left in this one, and it's 4th and goal. 4th and game.
4th and game from the 15.
Now I squat it. I'm someone saying, hey, all right, I'll go create a line around the goal line. Tell my guys, hey, we're lined up at the 5. Nothing's behind you. Caught in front of you. We swarm. We take care of the ball.
Your heels are on the goal line.
Yeah.
Your heels are on the goal line, and you're protecting that goal line. Not letting anything past you.
Yeah, nothing. The only thing you got to protect against now is that Boise State hook and ladder, which is the deep in, the double deep in. The only thing you think about at that point. So you tell your guys, hey, do your 111th, take care of your business, and we'll get out of here with a win.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Coach Smith comes up with here. Are we going to see some trickeration? Hey, again, it's Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Something can happen.
All verts. We just go all verts. We can see some trickeration.
No, all verts, for sure.
I mean, at 15 yards, you still have a chance, a little bit of a combo. You can still run a concept here with a 15-yard line. So you're taking the snap around the 20. Kojima going to be in the backfield to be an extra blocker.
Let's see what they do here. They're going to rush 3, keep everybody back.
Smith, step up, fires. Incomplete, and that's the ball game. Timpanogos comes back down 10, and they're going to take this one 42-34.
And I love the fact that there was no quit. They just kept fighting and fighting and fighting. You saw some halftime adjustments to try to stop that run game that was so prevalent up the middle in the first half. Come away with the win here.
We'll talk about what we've seen in the second half. I mean, they played a great second half to come out this win.
Yeah, tremendous second half. They stuck with it. They never gave up. They kept fighting. Penalties on both sides. And honestly, if you're Spanish Fork as well, you have to. I know there's no, hey, look, we didn't win this game, but hey, we can take something from this. But really, they can.
They can, yeah.
I mean, look at how they played Provo. Look at how they played Timpanogos. This should help them as they go into the playoffs.
Oh, what a game. Timpanogos, final score, Timpanogos 42, Spanish Fork 34. An impressive win tonight for Coach Heaps and the Timberwolves. Kenzie's going to have a player and coach interview when this game ends. Here momentarily, the players will go through and shake hands. But Eric, let's select a Heidemann and Associates player of the game.
Oh, man, I love Easton Princeing, man. I don't know his yards, but he has been just an absolute beast, as his nickname, is so true. He ran the ball well, ran behind his pads. What about you?
To me, yeah, I'll go. Bretzing's a good pick. Chase, it's going to be Chase Riggs. Okay. I think to me, it's Chase Riggs. What dotted up this defense was outstanding. You had the McCann brothers with touchdowns. You got Graff with that long touchdown pass. I always go Luke Livingston's an honorary player of the game whenever I get around Timpanogos. But Chase Riggs was absolutely money tonight.
Yeah, you got Brighton Tate, too, on the defensive side. He played so well. Jesse King. Both of those guys gave their hearts, especially in the second half.
Kenzie's been working to get our interviews. And then we'll have Austin pick her up when she's there. Kenzie, just give me a thumbs up when you're set. All right, let's send it down to Kenzie Valentine, who's down there with Luke Livingston and Chase Riggs.
All right, Chase, how do you feel when on the end of the regular season?
It was awesome. We needed that. We needed momentum going to the playoffs and stuff. We probably needed that win to get a bye week first week. That's nice to know too. They're a great team. They're the most underrated team in the state right now for sure. They've lost a lot of games just like that, and don't overlook them in the playoffs. They're a hell of a team.
What is your excitement leading into playoffs?
Oh, it's static. It's static right now. After we went to the playoffs, we had about half our starters hurt. Everyone's healthy right now. We're playing our best football probably right now, and I think we're going to go far in the playoffs.
How do you feel about your performance tonight?
I think I played good overall, but I had a few mistakes, 2 picks, not the best, but we dialed it down. We won the game. That's a really bad.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Chase Riggs, we'll get Luke Livingston here momentarily. Go ahead, Kenzie.
All right, Luke, what does it mean to you to win the regular season on a win?
I mean, it's great. Going into playoffs with a win is probably the best feeling you can have. So taking that momentum and going into playoffs, hopefully making a deep run and helping this team out and bringing home Timpanogos' first ring in football history.
What does playoffs mean to you?
Playoffs means a lot. Obviously, a few years ago, Timpanogos wasn't really the best. They weren't out in football. So bringing that chemistry back and bringing that atmosphere back to Timpanogos being a football school now is just great.
Congratulations on the win. Thank you.
All right, go ahead, Kenzie. Coach Heaps.
All right, so how does it feel to win the end of the season on the field?
You know, it's really nice. It's one of those things that we're now looking for a week off. The goal is going to be trying to replicate some game time, but also get rest. We're going to try and find a balance with that. It'll be nice to get a lot of bumps and bruises. Obviously, winning on a high note's great, but it's not going to mean anything if we drop that first one in the playoffs. So, season's been great, but we just got to build on, keep learning from the mistakes, and just try and keep better each day, really.
For the second half, it looks like you guys did do better on finishing your tackles and not giving up so many big plays. What did you tell them in the locker room to bring them back out for the half?
The message going in was just do your job, do your 1 of 11. And we talked about it often. The two guys we didn't score was penalties and drop passes. So we missed throws. And defense simply just missed tackles. We had guys there in spots. Coach Hamer on defense had guys in the right position who just weren't making plays. So it's kind of just challenge each one. Challenge really the seniors, the leadership to take ownership on it. And I obviously we kind of thought that was the difference on this one.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time. Congrats on the win.
Thank you, man.
Awesome. Thanks, Kenzie. Well, congratulations to Timpanogos. Again, the final score, the Timpanogos Timberwolves 42 and the Spanish Fork Dons 34. Both teams move on to the state tournament, but Timpanogos goes in with a lot of momentum. Our players of the game, Easton Bretzing and Chase Riggs. For Austin Bigelow, for Gavin, Kenzie Valentine, Eric Litzter, I'm Dusty Litzter. Thanks for joining us and watching Timpanogos football on the on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. And also want to thank Brent Brown Toyota Scion for being the sponsor of Timpanogos football. We'll see you in the playoffs.